Sup? I don't know why I'm reacting to this right now. It's kind
What
of
I'm about to tell you happened last year on Valentine's Day.
right.
I'm a female who lives by myself in a small house about 10 minutes outside of a major city.
Jesus.
I've lived in this house for about 3 years now, after moving from an apartment in another city. I had been single for a while, and I hadn't really been dating at the time. I was mainly just focusing on work, which was really busy at this time of the year. Then one morning, it happened to be Valentine's Day, and I got up at about 6 a.m. like I usually did. When I stepped out of my front door, I noticed that there was a letter on my front step with a rose on top of it. I picked it up and saw that it had my name on it, but no return address. It was strange because at this early in the morning, I knew that somebody had to physically bring the letter and rose to my front step and not just mail it. I took them both inside and was really curious to find out who this was from.
Really? You curious? Really? For real? Dead ass? Like, on some real shit? You... See, if that was me, I would have walked out, noticed it, said nope, and then just went back and right back inside.
When I opened up the letter, my mood went from happy to creeped out. The letter was typed out and started out by complimenting me on my looks and also saying I was really nice. Then it went on to describe some of my daily activities, and eventually whoever wrote it said that we were meant to be together.
Oh my God.
However, they never left their name and there was no indication at all of who it was from. I took a photo of it and sent it to a texting group chat that I had with several of my friends, asking if one of them did it as a joke. I really didn't think they would do something like that, and sure enough they all denied it, but they did think it was pretty funny.
That's not funny.
I thought about all the people that it could have been, but I didn't really have any good ideas as to who it was. I decided to just move on and forget all about it. That night when I returned home from work, I once again saw something on my front step.
Okay.
It was a heart-shaped piece of paper, and it said on it, "Why don't you spend Valentine's Day with me?" I took it and went inside and called my best friend to tell her about it.
Okay, but it could be your best friend. I'm not even gonna hold you. But let's just say, you decide to go on go on a date or whatever. Who are you? Who are you, man? Who are you? Jesus. I'm still not gonna go on a date. I just wanna know who you are. Cause you talking about you wanna do something, but I don't know, like, obviously you know where I live, and that's creepy as shit.
We talked for a while, and it made me feel better. But a little while later, after hanging up, as I was in my living room, I heard a knock coming from my front door. It was nighttime by now, so it immediately got me suspicious. I went over to the front door, but nobody was there. I thought I saw out of the corner of my eye a man walking down the sidewalk in the other direction. Of course, I only saw him for a second, so I couldn't really give a description of him at all. I opened the door, and there were no new letters or anything like that on the front step.
What?
I was now pretty concerned about whoever this was, but I didn't really know if it was grounds to call the police or anything like that. I hadn't been threatened or anything, so it seemed like it could have all just been a joke, and I didn't want to overreact. But still, I couldn't help but feel nervous about who it had been. I called my best friend back, and she offered to come over and stay the night with me, which I said yes to. She didn't live too far away, and was there within 15 minutes. There was no more activity the rest of the night, and the next day everything seemed fine. I went back to work like usual, and when I got home, I was happy to see that there were no letters or anything like that. I figured whatever had happened was just some Valentine's Day prank. I still wondered who it was though, but I was no longer really that concerned. But about 2 days later, as I got home from work, I once again saw a letter at my front doorstep. I got a bad feeling when I saw it. When I got inside, I opened up the letter. Inside the envelope, there was another handwritten note. It said, quote, "I've been watching you.
God,
I hope you enjoyed my Valentine's Day card the other day. I also knocked on your door several times. And tomorrow when you get back from work, I will be back." I couldn't believe it when I read this, and I suddenly felt really freaked out like I wasn't alone. I ran straight for my front door and out to my car. When I was safely in my car, I drove to the nearest police station. I told everything to them, and they ended up investigating and having an officer stay near my house for a couple of days. I don't think they ever found out who was behind it all, but I never had anything like that happen again.
None that you know of. You still a cluck ass.
A few years back, I went on a date with my girlfriend on Valentine's Day.
Right.
We went out to a really nice and fancy restaurant. The restaurant was one of those that was pretty expensive and you needed to make reservations for. You also had to wear nice clothes. We didn't normally go to such nice restaurants.
Man. See, I don't like that. You have to wear nice. Like, what if you don't got nice clothes? You got money, but like, what if, you know what I mean? What if you just that type of person that just doesn't dress up? You know, you can't go to the like. Come on.
On the special occasion of Valentine's Day, it was nice. Our plan was for after dinner to go to a movie. When we were leaving the restaurant and going out to my car in the parking lot, I saw there was a man standing kind of next to my car.
All right. Okay. That's tough. I'm debating on whether or not you should have a weapon on you or just haul ass the other way. So that's. I would just probably go back inside.
I was parked kind of in the back of the parking lot, so I was sort of surprised to see this. The man was wearing a suit and saw me walking towards him but didn't say anything. I guessed maybe he was waiting for someone or something like that. He was probably about 6 feet away from the passenger side of my car.
Wow.
When I got close.
Wow. That's really close. That's stupid close. He's not waiting on he's waiting on y'all. He's not, no, that's stupid close.
To him, I said hi. The man didn't say hi back to me though. He
yeah?
just kind of looked away and sort of took a few steps farther. We got in and drove away to a movie theater that was about 10 minutes away. The movie theater was pretty busy, and after we had gotten our seats, I left to go to the bathroom. As I was walking down the hall of the movie theater, I saw this same man in a suit once again. He was just kind of standing near the bathrooms looking in another direction. He never looked at me at all, and as I got closer, I was sure it was him. I went to the bathroom and then walked back to the theater where my girlfriend was, and I told her about seeing the man. She thought that I was joking at first and started laughing until I told her that I was serious. We didn't really know what to make of it, but just hoped that it was a strange coincidence, and for the most
I would have done something the first time I seen him, because there's best believe there would have never been any other coincidences.
we ended up forgetting about it. When the movie was over, we left the theater, and we didn't see the man at all in the theater or the parking lot. We got back to my apartment to watch some TV and have some drinks. I would say about an hour after getting back, as I was changing channels on the TV, my girlfriend asked me to come and look out the window. I walked over to it and looked outside down below. I lived on the 3rd floor, so it was sort of high up, but not really way up there. I saw on the side of the road was the same man in a suit just standing there. Now I knew this couldn't be a coincidence. This time it appeared he was on the phone. I knew without a doubt that this was the same guy, and we were both really creeped out now. I had enough at this point and decided to go downstairs and confront the man.
Wow. Really? Wow. You're not gonna call the police? You're not gonna stay inside and check the checklist? Alright, that's on you.
I left the apartment and walked down the stairs into the lobby. Then I went out the door to the street where the man was. But when I got there, he was gone. I walked down the street a little bit and looked all around. I couldn't find him, so I went back up to the apartment and asked my girlfriend if she saw which way the man went. She said that he walked closer to the apartment building, and then he went out of sight. This was concerning because to us there was a strong possibility that the man was inside our apartment building. It took me a long time to fall asleep that night, but nothing strange happened until I finally did fall asleep. I had dozed off at probably about 2 a.m., but was awoken to the sound of a knock on our apartment door.
I would say don't go check it out, but I feel like y'all want to check it out.
Quietly got up and walked over to it. I looked out the peephole, but saw no one. My girlfriend and I both knew it had to be the man in the suit, but what did he want from us? The rest of the night there were no more knocks. In fact, we never did see that man again, but I always wondered who he was and why we kept seeing him.
Right.
This happened last year, a few days before Valentine's Day. I was 18 years old at the time, and I was a very shy kid. It seemed that every girl I saw ignored me or just didn't really want to talk to me.
Jesus.
Anyway, I was at a restaurant with my best friend at the time, who I'll call John. We were talking about a bunch of different things, but mainly sports. Eventually, I asked him about some dating advice. I knew I could ask him about this sort of thing because at the time he had a girlfriend. I told John I was sick and tired of being ignored by every girl, and John told me to take out my phone. He took his out as well and told me about the dating site he used to meet his girlfriend.
You're a cluck ass. Your friend is a cluck ass, and the girlfriend is a cluck ass. Cluck ass, cluck ass, cluck ass.
John helped me by explaining how to make a good profile and things like that. A few hours later, I was at my house in my room setting up the profile. I tried to find the nicest picture of myself that I could, and when I did, I used it for my profile. Then I used the app for a while and hoped to get some matches. I decided to watch some TV in my room after that, sitting on my bed, waiting for my phone to go off saying I'd matched with someone. I was skeptical and didn't really think that it would work, but after about just a minute, there was a ding from my phone.
Wow.
I grabbed my phone to look and see what it was. I saw the message was from the dating website, and it said someone had matched with me. When I clicked on it, I saw I had matched with a girl named Eva. I clicked on her profile and saw that there was a picture of Eva. She was my same age and had black hair and bright blue eyes. She was also wearing a blue dress and she was smiling, showing off her bright white teeth. I felt myself smile. This was the first girl who I was about to talk to, so I decided to send her a simple hello to start the chat between us. A minute later, Eva sent a hello back. We ended up chatting, and she seemed really nice. I then asked Eva if I could meet her in real life and not just chat with her, and she actually said yes. She told me I could meet her at her house, and then she gave me her house address. She told me I could come over that very same night if I wanted to. I said yeah and gave her a thumbs up. I stopped chatting with Eva and started getting ready. It was a bit cold.
Does anybody else feel a little sus when you're talking to somebody in the beginning stages but it moves really fast without you anticipating it moving fast? Like, I don't know how to really explain it. Like you're talking, but it's moving faster than when you thought it was gonna move. That's a little. Does anybody else think like that's a little sus? Especially when you're not. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe, hopefully, y'all know what I'm talking about. Cause like they just met and he going over her house that day. Come on.
Outside that night, so I put some warm clothes on. I then grabbed my phone from my bed and hopped into my car. I messaged Eva telling her I was on my way over. As I was driving down the road, I kept thinking about how lucky I was going to meet a girl on the first night of using the dating app. And I was excited about what John was going to say when I told him about it. As I continued driving to Eva's house, I suddenly realized that the road I was driving on was becoming more and more empty and just woods. I passed by houses every several minutes, but there were barely any streetlights, and it seemed that I was heading into the middle of nowhere. In fact, It took me almost an hour to get to her house. When I got there, I texted Eva telling her I was there and got out of my car. When I looked up at the house I was standing in front of, it looked like it would cave in at any second. I had a bad feeling, but I decided to keep going up to the front door.
Wow! Wow! Oh my God! Oh, holy shit! Are you dead ass?
I noticed the grass that was in the front lawn was knee height. I sent Eva another message. I told her I was in front of the house and told her to tell me if this was the right address. She sent a message saying yes, she was there, and to just go inside and call out her name. I grabbed the doorknob and let it slowly creak open, walking inside the house. I noted that it was dark and dusty inside. I didn't see Eva or anyone else.
It's so many red flags. It's ridiculous. It's like he noticed the red flags and still wants to get clocked up. He wants to end his life right then and there. That's the only part. Because how do you know, like, how do you miss all of these red flags? I don't understand.
And then I tried to send Eva another message, but the app wouldn't work. The Wi-Fi signal was down, and I wasn't really getting any service on my phone. I decided to walk around to see if I could find her, so I headed into the living room. I saw a bunch of old furniture, and then I noticed hanging from the ceiling was a bright blue dress. I noticed it was the same one that Eva had been wearing in a couple of the photos she had on her profile. Then I saw a black wig hanging from the dress. It made me really confused because Eva's hair was black in the pictures. I called out Eva, hoping she would hear my voice. But just then, in the deepest and creepiest tone, I heard a yes from behind me. I nearly jumped and hit the ceiling. I turned around, but I didn't see Eva. The only person standing in front of me wasn't a girl. It was a guy wearing a black hoodie. He had the hood up and was wearing blue jeans. I noticed he had brown hair and he gave me a creepy smile and winked. I asked who he was, but he didn't say anything. He just pointed at the blue dress and the wig, grinning at me with the darkest smile that a human could. Then I noticed he had something in his hand. It appeared to be a gun. He told me in a deep voice to hand over everything I had on me. Then he pulled out a bag. I didn't want to argue with him, so I pulled everything out of my pockets and dropped them into his bag, even the watch I was wearing. The man then started to walk away from me. Pretty soon, I watched him walk out the front door. I was relieved, but also still terrified. Finally, I was able to get my legs to move again, and I ran out to my car as fast as I could. Luckily, I didn't see that freak again, but he had all of my stuff. I drove all the way back to John's house and told him everything. From there, he called the police, and when they arrived, I told them everything. As it turns out, the man who had lured me into the house was also pretending to be the Eva girl, and she didn't really exist. That's why I saw the blue dress and the wig in the living room of the house. The house also didn't belong to the man, and it was an old abandoned one. The scary thing is, the police never found the guy. But since it happened, I stopped using dating apps.
You're a whole dumbass. You're a whole cluck ass. You're a whole head ass. There were literally red flags out the ass, but you just chose not to see them. And that's on you. That's all I gotta say about that. Point blank. I'm really blunt. You should have got clocked up way more than what happened. That was ridiculous. That story was just ridiculous. Like, it's almost like that last story was made for me, just for me to give my 2 cents into. Jesus Christ, man. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.